other than that. We're going to be doing a bit of a stress test on that surface. I showed you the 8 by 10 surface that we used in one of the demonstrations for our gamer screen. I'll post that below so you can see the demonstration of the actual screen. Now, two things I'm concerned about when it comes to that surface. Like I said, it's a very interesting surface, what I'm used to painting. And one of the things I am concerned about is if we fold this thing up, is this thing going to actually stick together and peel apart? That's one of my concerns. Another thing is actually in water, it's going to be the same. If the screen gets water splashed on it, if it rains on it, is the surface going to maintain or it's going to crack? And basically, if I were to ball it up and spread it apart, am I going to have any cracks or anything in the screen? That's also too a concern. Now, if I can ball it up in a ball and smooth it out, that means that bottom line is I can fold it up with no problem. So I got a piece right here of it. I told you I'm going to buy 2 pieces of this. One is downstairs on display for testing. This one right here is just parts of the screen. We got another one cut it up. And we got this one folded up with a container of paint sitting on top of it. We're going to actually take that out, unfold it, see if we get any in the corner points. If we get any peeled paint in the corner points. Right there, little white spots that'll pop up. Then we got the second piece over here. And the other part of my kitchen submerged in water. Now this little spot right there I did myself because I want to see if I could scrape a little bit of it. But there's some do's and don'ts we're going to have with the screen. So this one's actually soaking in water right now. We'll see if the paint's going to uplift from the surface and move about, which I'm not seeing any problems all so far. But now see on the other end, this part right here, this is the part we had to put a special coating on the screen to keep from separating. This is a very temperamental surface. I've painted on these before, but this one's a little bit different than what I'm used to using. So we're soaking this one in the water over here. See what happens. Now, if it cracks or peels, we don't sell the screen. We just go back to the drawing board. These are things you have to be to see when we do testing. So that way, see exactly how the screen's going to react. So this one right here, we got this under the press right here. And take this out. And usually, like I said, this particular material, if it sticks, it's going to stick. It doesn't take much to do it. So let's open this up. I should have my camera here. Where's my stand at? My stand is never, ever around when I need it. I didn't go upstairs today, so it has to be over here somewhere in cat land. Here we go. I got a terrific headache for this today. Alright. So we do all these for basically test out the products to make sure that they're working well, especially when it comes to outdoor screens. Outdoor screens have to be tested on a whole nother level. Alright. Even though our formula may be weatherproof, surface may not marry well with the formula. Got one more stand right there. Alright. Let's get this opened up. So that's pretty good. My main concern, what I'm looking for is the corners. So the corners, I'm not worried about this. Is something I peeled on the paint already. Don't worry about that. The corners right here, and here, and here, and here, where you fold this out, these are the areas that are going to stick the most on the screen. So we fold it this way, fold it this way. Let's get this thing cut up. I'm gonna get a little piece from here, a little more from here. Here to here. Make sure I get a clean piece. This makes it portable. You can remove the screen. Sometimes when you're dealing with a certain surface, and that surface basically is not designed to be moved, especially when I tell people to not paint on certain PVC screens because the surface basically does not marry well with our formula. And the problem you have with that is that those corner pieces, where every time you fold the screen, for each corner you fold it again and again and again, when you go to pull that screen apart, those corners are basically going to pop. You're going to see little holes here, here, and here in every corner that you folded that screen, because that's where it's going to actually have the most stress at when you separate the screen. So that's what we look for. The rest of it, if it's going to stick, it's going to stick. That's all to it. If it's going to lay stick, it'll stick. The one thing I don't like about using any different form of PVC blend is the PVC blend basically becomes hot and becomes cold. If it's hot outside, that screen's going to heat up, and what's going to happen is anything you have laying against it, if you have it pressed together, it's going to fuse together. If you're using this on the cold, that PVC is going to become cold like a piece of glass or brick or concrete, and anything on it is going to crack and lift up off the surface. So those are things I look for when I do these particular surfaces. Like this, I like the surface right here. It's nice, it's lightweight, it's perfect. So far, so good. As I'm pulling it apart, we're not having any problems. I shouldn't be doing this on the container of paint. I need a brick in here. Let me get my brick. I'm not worrying about the countertop. Countertop's Gucci. No. We had to put design a special coating to put over top the screen, so that way we wouldn't have any problems. And you have to be careful when it comes to coatings, because when it comes to coatings, if your coating has too much of a shine to it, you hit that thing with a 5,000 lumen projector, you're going to blind everybody in the front row. So you have to make sure. We had to go in and alter the poly that was attached to it, which means we had to actually reinvent it. We had to add something to it to be able to drop. Well, I can't tell you too much about that. I'm speaking too much already as it is. Let's put it this way. We developed our own little coating to be able to make sure that whatever we apply this stuff to, not only is it going to stop it from doing what it needs to do, cracking and peeling or whatever, but hopefully with the stress test it'll do what it has to do. But basically we can actually drop it where we can dull the screen to a certain degree where it's not going to hotspot, but also maintain its color and contrast levels all at the same time. You can understand all that crazy stuff. That's what we had to do today. So that's why I was doing the video short and sweet. I had to do the video conference today. I had 4 video conferences today on that invisible technology outside. And then after that, we had to work on this project right here. This is going to be a pretty cool screen for the gamers, because not only for the gamers, for anybody, because this is a big screen. It's an 8x10 screen. It's lightweight, has nice grommets, reinforced corners, which are very important. So that way, if you're taking this thing down over and over again, you don't want this thing cracking and peeling on you. You want to make it portable. So press down on it. It don't take much. Like I said, the way certain surfaces are made, if it's going to stick, it's going to stick. So here we go. Oh yeah. I know some people pull out because they don't want to see the results because they know it's going to be good. It's always going to be good. Anytime it's God's technology, it's always going to be good. Remember that, always going to be good. Anytime you put your faith in God, always going to be good. Now see right here? See how the corner pieces right here? Not one crack, one peel, which means we could fold the screen up now, ship this anywhere in the world without fear of this screen cracking or peeling in the process. But what I'm going to do is, just in case, I'm going to get a thin piece of material, paper, we're going to line that inside the screen. Because keep in mind, after you paint the screen, even though it's fully dry, it's still curing, all right? So let's go over here and let's check our screen is submerged in water, which is very important, most important, because if this one lifts up, we got problems. All right, so this is in the water right now. Ooh, not good, not good, not good, not good. We got some bad results here already, people. Bad results. This may be a no-show. We might have to cancel the screen. Oh well, it happens. So, definitely not waterproof. This is why you got to have these tests. These tests are very, very important. I see people coating surfaces and don't basically do their job right. Yeah, see how it lifted up? This is not good. So I'm going to show you something right here. This is the reason why we can't use the material. This is why. Shame. It had a good promise, but nope, it's not going to take. That means the screen is officially not weatherproof and it cannot be used. Now, like I said, rolling it up, no problem. Being able to get it to support to a surface, this may be a problem. So we might have to go back to the drawing board on this one. So guess what? Failed attempt. I know, biggie. Like I said, mistakes are very, very important, because when at the end of the day, you have to find out. These are why tests are very important. That's why we test all our products. And people who don't test their products never know the outcome of what their product's going to be. That's why orders don't actually go through. And I say orders go through, but put on a nicer term, a person doesn't have 100% faith in their product, and a person who doesn't truly test their product out will not allow their product to be reviewed, because they don't know the outcome of it all. So that's why it's very important to never ever cut corners. Now, if I had said this screen was weatherproof and it didn't have any real proof behind it was weatherproof, and sent these out, and these screens got wet and they did this to them, then I'd have a lot of people upset with me because the screen didn't work out properly, because tests are very, very, very important. They have to be done. So like I said, not every test is going to come out perfect, and every screen is going to come out perfect, but you have to have those tests. Just like when you're buying brakes for your car, smoke detectors for your home, stuff like that, there are failures that happen in those particular facilities that they have to go back and say, look, this is bad, we got to go fix this. If we put these items out here, someone could potentially become hurt. That's why tests are important. When you see people not testing their products out properly and cutting corners, This basically is going to come back on you and it's going to come back on them. This is good to know. So now we know that we have to do something about this surface first before we can apply this surface, before we can put the second surface. So we go back to the drawing board. Now, I can easily go out and get a surface that would replace this, but no, I actually like this surface a lot. It's very affordable, it's very cheap, it keeps the price very nice for my customers. We just have to figure out how to get this to marry to this much better. So that's the next stage we'll have to do. So now what we're going to do now is we have to go back to the drawing board and we have to find different surfaces to coat to this first that will marry to this. Once we find a surface that will marry to this, then we can apply that surface to this. That will marry to that surface, hopefully. And then after that, we can apply the second surface, which we have over there, that keeps the screen from cracking and peeling when you fold it up. See all the work that goes into it? There you go. When you see somebody launch a product too fast, too quick, and they're cutting corners, not a good idea. This is very good to see. All right, we go back to the drawing board. At least we know the first coating actually worked out perfectly. That's the coating that we apply on it first that allows it to be able to marry to the surface. Because I said one of the problems I have with screens like this, when you fold them up, they get those crack points here, here, and here in the corner, and then it just sticks, and when you pull it apart, it just rips all over the place. So that's good to know. We got to do something about this right here. This surface right here has to be changed. So I got an idea of how we can do it. It's going to be interesting, but how we do it. I'm not going to explain how we're going to do it, but I'm going to do another test downstairs. We'll be back up here again on this to try it again. But at least I know this part right here is good because if you fold this up, this means we can take the screen, fold it up to a little square, not to a little square, but you know what I mean. And we can ship this out, fold it up. Because shipping is everything. I tell people at the end of the day, shipping will make and break your product. I had a screen that was, it was made out of congregated cardboard, that plastic cardboard. Really cool idea for a screen, 4x8. We ship it to the longest destination from here to California, which is the longest destination. It was going to cost us $1,000 to ship that screen. And that screen was probably less than $1,000 what we were charging for. But the shipping cost, because the screen was 4x8, had to go by freight. And because it had to go by freight and was shipped from here to California, it cost us $1,000, which means the shipping cost would have literally killed us. We'd have made no money off of it. So that's where we came up with the wallpaper screens for the screen that we can take and we could roll it up and stick that screen in the tube, which costs less money to ship from A to B. Cost me somewhere probably about 50, maybe 40 bucks to ship that screen, 100-inch screen from A to B to California because we can roll it up and stick it in the tube, which actually cancels out the height and the width of the screen, which means it doesn't go by freight, it goes by regular priority shipping, which costs us less money, which means we can ship the same screen over there for free. This is the kind of homework you have to do. So if we can take a screen like this, we put it on a roll, say it's about 8 by 10, it'll be 8 feet high. So about 8 feet high, I mean the shipping cost is going to jump. And keep in mind, it's not going to go by flat rate. That means it has to go by zone, which means whatever zone it's being shipped in, it could be 40 in one zone, it could be another 100, it could be $200 in another zone. Depends on what zone you're going to be able to ship it to. So what we have to do is get the screen and we can break it down to a small compartment where we can drop it into an envelope or we can drop it into the large boxes. We can ship that anywhere in the United States for 19 bucks. There you go. That's how business works. So that's what you have to figure out, exactly what the shipping cost is going to cost you, and if the screen can take in the damage or it can take in the stress level of being shipped from A to B. So my main concern is when the customer opens it up, he has to be able to open up that screen without any of those crack points in it or any of this peeling. So we know the first application will work perfectly. We have to get the second application to marry well so the screen can become completely weatherproof. Whew, a lot of work, ain't it? There you go. I told you a lot more than just mixing paints together and this, that, and the other. There's a whole lot of work that goes behind basically doing screen paints. A whole lot of work. Like I said, even down to the shipping costs alone, like I said, makes a difference whether your product makes it across, makes money or doesn't. Good thing about the gamer screens, that technology right there, that stuff is amazing what that surface can do. I mean, you can ball that stuff up and it can basically expand right back out. That stuff is incredible. This whole new other surface is a little different. But the other gamer screens is a little interesting, a little better to work with. Whew. Okay, people. Well, now you got a chance to see that test demonstration for yourself. We ain't done yet. Still got to drop it in the freezer. So we got a piece. After we get done, all that, we got to drop them in the freezer and see exactly how they take well in the cold. That'll be next. Which I need to be firing up my projector right now because I got a few more test demonstrations. Well, this screen's done right here, but we got a few more things I want to do with this one. I'll get rid of that awning too. Yeah, that's the stress. When you do outdoor screens, you got to put them through some stress. I've seen some people put a little water on it and say, oh, it's weatherproof. That's not weatherproof. You have to submerge that thing under water for a while. And you'll see if it happens a couple of days you come by, if that screen's going to lift, it's going to lift. There we go. Fire up to Chrissy right now. So I got screens sitting out here, black screen at 17 Nova, and I got a gamer screen. They can sit out here in all kinds of rain, snow, sleet, anything, and that screen will maintain with no problem because they've been tested. You got to test them out. Put them through their test. Now, like I said, the coating's weatherproof. It's the surface that we're having an issue with trying to marry to. That's the problem. Trying to get it to marry to that particular surface. I'm gonna take my awning down. We don't need the awning down. Oh, no, sun's down anyway. Where's my stand? It's always so short for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, because I keep missing that one last peg. That is real nice. I'm going to take down my awning right now. We don't need it up. I found some other interesting things about that technology too. That if you coat the other side, make the side darker, it actually picks up even better, which is actually interesting because it has too many different ways applications can be used on that particular technology. Nice 38, ain't it? Nice day. I gotta order me another rug too. Put 2 rugs out here today. This area right here, I haven't got time to do it. I'm gonna order them today right now. That's much better. Here we go. Isn't that technology amazing, eh? If I wanted to, I could have got rid of these 2 screens right here and just put one big long 235.1 right across here, all the way across, and have my seating this way. My projector right back there. That's where it's sitting at behind that glass. I think I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day like this. I'll get my chair back here in the house. Needs to be at. way. There y'all. Over here at the front with me. That's a shame. At the end of the day, this makes some people real angry. Makes them real angry. So I can sit out here and do this. Watch this demonstration out here. Alexa, what time is it? 6:36 p.m. That ain't bad. So we had the screen running all day out here from 9 o'clock all the way up until 6 o'clock running. So this technology is fully weatherproof. Like I said, we can coat this on plexiglass and everything, but that's the gamer technology. You just have to figure a way how to get the marriage to the surface, which shouldn't be hard to do. And a little more research, that's baseball. But I could have done this demonstration behind closed doors and you would have never noticed it, but I showed you that because you need to see exactly how the screen's going to react. Because that's very important to be seen. Yeah, we got a little sunlight. And that beautiful picture right there, sunlight coming in and watching the screen at the same time. All right, I'm gonna come out of here real quick. I want to do a separate demonstration on this one alone by itself. Hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you for your time. Gotta go and God bless.